DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is here. And if you're just joining us, we're talking about Brittany Renner and, of course, Unc Shannon Sharp. They had a conversation on his podcast, and they were talking about body counts, and this is how it happened.
I've had sex with 35 guys, okay?
So we're asking 800-585-1051. We're just opening up the phone lines. What's your thoughts on body counts when it comes to people and dating and marriage? Let's start with you, Lauren. What's your thought?
I don't think it should matter anymore. Like at a certain age, I think that if you still ask that question, it's just childish. I do think that there's a double standard, though. I think that men get a pat on the back and like he really know what he doing when the numbers are numbering. But with the women, you see he had to like take more of his drink. Like Shannon Sharp barely could get his drink down. It was like almost like he was like, oh, Lord.
Right. Charlamagne?
Yeah, I don't think it should matter. You know, that's why I was kind of shocked at Shannon Sharp's reaction. I'm not going to say I don't think it should matter. I just don't understand why people care. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you care what a person's body count is? You know, what I find interesting is that, you know, having the conversation behind the scenes, a lot of women feel like the higher their body count is, the more experience they have sexually. And I would think that it's not the amount of people you have sex with, it's the amount of times you have sex with a person that gives you sexual experience. So I don't think you have to be with a high number of people to have a certain sexual experience.
It depends on the person and the people that you're having sex with, though.
But wouldn't you feel more comfortable with one person trying new things and doing new things?
Yes, 100%. But I do think that like you could be in a relationship for years and that person just never sexually satisfies you or opens up to like new things or whatever.
That's true too.
And then you meet another person and y'all are together for way less time, but the sexual chemistry is there, so y'all feel safe enough to do that.
And then y'all might end up having sex a bunch of different times.
Yeah.
And because of that chemistry, busting it open, you doing handstands, you doing 6'9", you eating ass, you doing everything. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's his fantasy over there.
I'm just saying, but because of that, so it's still that one person that's, you know, causing you to get that sexual experience.
But you might have to date around a little bit, like, to get to that person that is willing to do that. Because I also think too that sometimes, I mean, I wouldn't say that this is just men, because I know women that are like not open sexually, like they're not trying new things. But I do think that from what I've experienced, men aren't jumping to just like volunteer new things sometimes. Like you have to kind of like warm them up a bit.
They got to trust you. They have to trust you.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. So sometimes it never gets there, and then women just move on. But ain't no woman out here just like, yo, I want to take down the whole corporate building so I could get all this experience. That's not it.
But I will say this. I will say that, yeah, it is a double standard, like you said. And
is
a
that
lot, yes, a lot of times when men knock off chicks and knock off, they get patted on the back. And when women do it, it's kind of down or frowned upon.
Calling Negroes nasty. I know that for a fact. I'd be like, some of these dudes be like, I slept with thousands of women. I'd be like, thousands?
Yeah.
Like,
that's you and where you are in your life right now.
I kind of always felt like that, though. Only because that first time I'm old school. So when I had to have an HIV test was when you had to wait 2 weeks. So when you
2 weeks?
Yes, see
I would
what
literally
saying?
be going through that little bit of wait time. You'd be like, God, look,
see what I'm saying?
if you get me through this, listen, like you don't know, 2 weeks.
And I remember the first time I took an HIV test and I had to write down all the names of women I've been with. And I'm just like, God damn, you nasty. Especially when you start getting the crackheads and stuff. Only had one crackhead.
My goodness.
But my point with all of that is just that I felt that back then.
Right.
So when I hear dudes have these conversations about all the women they slept with now, I'm like, why are you bragging about
so
that?
How did the crackhead thing happen? Like what?
20-year rock for some pum pum.
He was selling some crack. But I will say body count matters to me. It does matter to me. And the reason being is because it's based off of decisions, right? If you're having sex with multiple people, do I want to marry that? Because I feel like in my opinion,
you just said marry that?
Yeah,
that's the double standard.
No, but it is. But a woman might feel the same way about me too. A woman might feel the same way.
You didn't even humanize it just now. You just said that.
Yeah.
You don't identify what I'm talking about. You don't know if I want a woman or a man. You don't know. You don't know.
Okay.
All right. So what I say,
I love how you clean that up. I love how you clean that up.
But I'm just saying. But
give the blog the headline. Go
ahead.
Give
him another headline.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, to me it does matter.
But at a certain age,
because it doesn't matter what the age is. It's what I prefer and what I want to be with.
Brittany Renner is 31. She said 35 men. So if she starts at around, like we did the math, like 17, 18, that's about like 2 men a year.
Mm-hmm.
Is she single?
You know why it's tough too, Lauren? As a father, right? I feel like when you get grown, you're a woman, you make your own decisions. But I also do be thinking about what if this was my daughter
How would you feel?
How would I feel?
Yeah, how would you feel?
And I wouldn't want my daughter to be
No, I wouldn't want my daughter to have a body count of 35. I wouldn't have my daughter to have a high body count. I would want her to, this is what I would want. I would want her to hold her body as a temple to whoever she's marrying. Now, I don't know if that's going to be true. She might have sex with 1, 2, 3, but if she had a body count of 35, I wouldn't be happy.
But also too, if I had a son, I would tell him, the
same thing.
I would tell him to try to keep his body count low as well.
Are y'all being honest about with the son
honest.
conversation?
I'm being totally honest. I'm being 100% honest.
Absolutely.
And if in a perfect world, in a perfect world, I would have probably just wanted to be with my wife. In a perfect world.
I love to hear that because I feel
but
like
the world ain't perfect.
Yeah. And the way that we think about men and what it takes for y'all to get to the points that you guys are at, that is this conversation. I'm like, whoa, I hope that everybody's having these type of conversations with their
Charlamagne
sons.
is right. In a perfect world, I mean, I took my wife's virginity, right? Perfect world. But for me, I stepped outside, and I'm not proud of that. But in a perfect world, like you said, I wish that me and my wife were the only ones that she was with and that I was with. But the world's not perfect.
Yeah.
And I would want that for my son, and I would want that for my daughter. Now, I don't look down on anybody that has a high body count, but it's just not for me.
And also, if you don't have a high body count, you could still be very sexually experienced. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter the number.
That one person that turns you out.
Yeah, you get that right person, and they're open to things, and you're down to try stuff. Yes.
He was eating his ass.
And eating his ass. And eating his ass. Oh, my God. Let's go to the phone.
Shout out to Suki from Delaware.
Let's go to the phone.
Sukiana from Delaware?
Yes, she is.
Wow.
Delaware got things.
I don't see too many women on
So
the
how
line.
come when I asked you if there's any rappers popping from Delaware, you ain't say Sukiana?
Because I don't instantly sometimes identify her with Delaware.
Notorious
No,
Sukiana.
but it's crazy because I've known her before all of that. Like, I know Destiny. You know what I mean? But it's so, because she left a long time ago and she's not actively always back in Delaware. When you said that, I'm thinking about who's in Delaware right now that's trying to make it out of Delaware.
You think you knew her before she ate her first ass?
Oh, stop it. Hello, who's this?
No, I think she's been crazy for a long time.
Hello?
Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Jay? We're talking about body counts. What's your thought, bro?
Yeah, I saw that podcast with Uncle Shay Shay. Body count matters for females because a guy, it has to show up eternity. Remember, DNA test is fairly new.
What the hell are you talking about?
What'd you say?
DNA test is fairly new.
What that got to do with body counts?
If a girl has sex with 5 guys and she gets pregnant, who's the father?
You know what? I'm not. 800-585-1051. Can we have a real conversation about body counts this morning? What's your thoughts about it? Let's talk. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking about body counts. Lauren LaRosa is here.
Yes.
She's our guest host, and this conversation comes from Brittany, Renner, and Uncle Shay Shay. Shannon Sharp, and they had a conversation, and this is how it went.
I've had sex with 35 guys, okay?
So we're asking, what is your thoughts? 800-585-1051. We got Ashley on the line. Ashley, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's your thoughts on body counts?
I don't really think it matters. I think what you do prior to any relationship is your business. But you should be prepared for whatever happens. You run into somebody that you done been down with, that's just what it is.
Okay.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't agree, though. Like, for me, and I know this is hard to say because men are foul and we do some F-boy-ish a lot, but if I'm marrying a woman, I would want her to just be with me. And I know that's not a great option all the time, but even if that's not, I would want her to have as least amount of bodies as possible.
What does it matter if what does it matter if at that time in her life she is overly devoted to you, she is just with you, she's not interested in anyone else, she's not having sex with anyone else? Why does it matter what happened before you?
Lauren, you're absolutely right, but it's just all ego.
Yeah, it is.
All of it is wounded ego. Because the
I know.
reality
I want you guys to say it out loud.
Yeah, the reality of the situation is when I think about this topic, I only care because I'm like, okay,
I'm a father.
I wouldn't want my daughters to be with that many people, and I wouldn't want my wife to be with that many people.
Correct.
But that's the reality of the situation is, they're women and they're going to do what women have done. But Lauren's absolutely right. If that person is committed to you, devoted to you, you don't care. But that last caller was right, too. You just don't want to bump into these people. You know what I mean? Especially...
Yes, because there's levels of body count. There's like, yeah, I've had
Perfect
experiences,
example,
Delaware.
Let's say you had a body count of 35 in Delaware, and Delaware is a big place, but a small place.
It don't even got to be 35. Those 7 people that Lauren might have been with in Delaware, the more Lauren grows in her career, they all gonna say they hit. They all gonna want to say they hit Lauren LaRosa. Even if it was in middle school, they gonna say it.
It wasn't no middle school, damn it. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say I wasn't even thinking about that type of stuff.
Or high school, whatever.
But I just think, right, they depending on who what the relationship was, how the woman carried herself in that relationship, and I'm not judging nobody and what they do, there's a certain level of respect that comes with certain things as well too. So like, yeah, everybody will have a past, right? Unless you meet a woman who has never been with somebody, whatever. Good luck to y'all. But if that woman was respected in every encounter that she had with those different men, it's not like they're going to walk up to you like, yo, you know I hit that first. Like, they're not going to rage at you. They will respect where she is now.
They're not going to never say it to you, Lauren. They're going to say it behind your back.
But even if they say it behind, I feel like first of all, y'all men do be chatty-patty. But I do think that there's a certain level of like, you don't want to be that guy. Like, you don't want to be corny.
But Lauren, let me ask you a question. Let's say you
don't get to an age where you don't want to be corny no more.
Something. And
I know y'all corny for a long time, but they don't cut off at a point.
I tell every woman I know this. If you are somebody of a certain stature or you with somebody of a certain stature, all these men gonna talk about you. They can't wait to say they hit. They gonna tell everybody.
They groupies?
Especially in this day and age.
I'm telling you, men are groupies too.
Yes,
men are
groupies too. But let me ask you a
Hey.
question. Now, this is another thing. So let's say you're dating somebody and, he has a high body count. And then you look at his body count and you see the people that he's smashing and you're like, these people are disgusting,
I be
horrible
judging.
looking.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make you feel like I don't want to be with that because his decision making wasn't good? And now I'm the catch and I got to deal with the past that he had?
So yes, if you know that, a lot of times with men, like I know, like if I'm dating right now, I'm not asking you what's your body count. I might say, hey, what's your situation with your ex? Because I want to know how disattached are you? Because a lot of times people aren't.
That's real.
And if you end up showing me that person or whatever, I do look at like how well kept is she and all that, because yes, decision making, especially at this age.
And that's my point.
But if I decide to get into that situation, I'm taking a chance on like the decision making has gotten better because that was before me. You here now, baby. Like, welcome to the gates. Like, hi.
All right, well, let's go to another caller. We got another Ashley on the line. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what's your name, mama?
Ashley.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. All right, we're talking body counts. What's your thoughts?
So, I think as a woman, your body count should not be higher than the average man. 35 is insane.
Okay.
I you know what? I'm going to look that up. I never
am
thought
too.
about that. You
What's
just
the
made me
average-
think about the
Average body count of a man.
Men's.
That's not going to be body count. Average sexual partners of
And while you doing that, I'm going to another caller.
a man.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning. I'm going to stay anonymous, but good morning, everyone.
You know what the average number of sexual partners for adult men and women are?
What's that?
Between 4 and 8.
Right.
Wait, like in their whole lives?
Yeah, it says
Whoa,
it
Brittany.
varies a lot. There's a lot of research on lifetime sexual partners, and any given study will give you slightly different numbers. But in general, anywhere between 4 and 8 partners is considered an average number of sexual partners for adult men and women. Wow.
I think she's telling the truth.
Statistically, Brittany Renner is a hard worker.
Studies say that most of y'all hoes,
Jesus.
No.
men and women.
What you say, mama? What's your opinion, Miss Anonymous?
I think that's crazy. Do y'all think she's like telling the truth?
She what?
Do y'all think she's telling the truth?
Yeah, 'cause
I would not want no 35 bodies on my body. That's crazy.
But you gotta think about, she's 31 years old.
Exactly. That's crazy.
I feel like if you spread that out over time, I'm not surprised. Like
35. She's 31 with 35 bodies. That's crazy.
By the way, I understand where she's coming from. I'm not a guy who has a high body count because I've never been like that. You know what I'm saying? I've never been the type of person that just wants to
deal with
share
anybody.
myself with everybody. You know what I mean? I believe in energy. You know what I mean? And I'm a one. I like to be with one woman, right? Like, I mean, in my life, of course, my ego got the best of me, and I was testing out my new superpowers. But for the most part, I like to be a woman. So I've never been a guy that has a high body count. So when guys be telling me like I had sex with 1,000 women, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'll tell you that one HIV test back in the day where I had to wait 2 weeks scared the hell out of me.
And then that's another thing too. The percentage of the more people you have sex with is high as your percentage with the more STDs
That's
you
what
have.
I'm saying. See,
That's
y'all,
what's
you know,
scary for me.
Y'all wasn't born in the 1900s and 70s like
You
us.
don't have to be. My the way that my mom is set up, like we have been, even before my mom, we've been doing STD test even before I ever even told my mom I was sexually active, because my mom is big on, we go vote together, we go get tested together. The conversations.
Why your mama was getting so much STD test?
Why your mom get tested now?
She just didn't. She just didn't. She's always been like a very like, I don't play that. Like, we want to make sure.
Was she married?
No, she wasn't married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just want to make sure health is cool.
Yep.
We want to make sure like she's always been like that since I was young. And when you're young and you go in those places and they're having these conversations, a little bit scary.
I don't like how you put your mama business out there.
Yeah, that was
You told us that your mama had y'all doing STD tests every Saturday, like y'all was going to field service. You just
Yeah,
said
well,
they were going to church.
Lauren, that sounded kind of crazy.
it's not every year.
I need to, no,
It's
Lauren,
not every
the way
Saturday.
you said it was like you said STD test and voting.
Yeah, how
you
many
don't
times
vote
you
every
vote?
Saturday,
How many
bro.
times do you vote? You don't vote every Saturday.
You vote at least what, every 2 years? I don't know. I don't know.
If you're
It depends.
getting
It might be every 4
if
years.
you're getting HIV tests, you're supposed to do it in windows of 6 months, 3 to 6 months.
Really?
To actually, yes.
If you're sleeping with a bunch of different people.
or if you can be sleeping with one person and get affected by something.
Absolutely, because you don't know what he's
The
doing.
thing was
or
that
what
she
she's
was
doing.
trying
Absolutely.
to instill a practice of taking care of your body, even if you were one person or 20
Gotcha.
people. And when you're young and you learn that and you see what can happen, I think it makes you be like, okay.
But
See, I was
also,
the-
back in the day, like you said, STDs were bigger, right? And when I say that, remember how many HIV commercials there were?
HIV
AIDS
was
commercials,
huge. Yeah,
chlamydia
absolutely.
commercials.
HIV had one of the best market. The only disease that had a great marketing rollout like HIV was COVID.
Right.
COVID and HIV had the biggest budgets I ever seen.
But do you remember all the STDs, chlamydia, and syphilis?
I've never had an STD
and me neither.
ever in my life. I've
And-
never had one. But the thing about the HIV test, when you have to write down the names of people you slept with and then wait 2 weeks, you don't want to add to that list, because that list gives you a level of anxiety that you don't want to deal with.
Right.
You know, so that's what used to keep me from jumping out the window.
But what's the moral of the story?
Don't tell the people your body count. 'Cause
That's
they're gonna
another thing.
judge
I
you.
ain't gonna
People
tell them,
judging
she
Brittany
shouldn't
Renner
tell
like
anybody her
crazy,
body count.
which is crazy to me because she's so honest about so much stuff. Like, why are we?
Well, she's living in her truth, I guess. So she doesn't care.
Well,
I love living in her truth. That's such a 2023 line.
And by the
There
way,
you
she
go.
put it out there publicly. So you put it out there publicly, people gonna have a public opinion about what you said. So
But then you look at somebody like a superhead, Karen Steffens, right? Who talks
Corinne.
about
Corinne.
Corinne Steffens. She talks about all the people she had sex with and all the things that she did, and people still dated. They don't care.
I admire those women like Corinne Steffens who are like so sexually and just like lifestyle free that like they don't care what people say.
y'all don't have the great marketing that Corinne had though. Corinne's name was Superhead. I mean, goddamn, you hear that name, I can see why you might want to try to sign up. I want to.
But would you-
Superhead?
but would you
And then
marry
when you
her?
talk to other people, and they're like, "Yeah, it is Superhead," you like, damn.
You gonna say out loud you wouldn't marry her, but I think if you experience the superhead, you probably end up married. It's a lot of people that was in that book that probably said
And
I would
think
never.
about all those names in that book. If I was getting top, I would be like Lil Wayne. I don't want to name nobody's names.
Y'all
But I
are-
would think about all those names.
Well, listen, I want y'all two to. This is the moral of the story. Y'all are two of the most morally conscious men I've ever met, because there's so many men who.
It's evolution.
Yeah. Yes. Well, y'all need to. I'm glad y'all talk about this because I wish I could take this evolution, just put it in certain people.
I can't wait till the gay Superhead comes out. A man named Juicy Butt who talks about all the stuff in the industry. All the men he done turned out in the industry.
We had
I
one
can't
already,
wait
though.
for
We
this
did have
man.
one.
Who?
Who?
Glitter stick.
Who is
Nah.
that?
Glitter, no.
I don't know that. person.
Don't listen to Envy. He's retarded.
Ask him who glitter
You're
stick
not
is.
supposed to say that word.
I can say it in regards to Envy.
I keep saying ask him who glitter stick is.
Who's Glitter Stick? You know Glitter
I'm
Stick?
not giving Glitter Stick no shine on this radio.
saying
this
his
morning.
name.
I'm not doing that. I'm not introducing
Sound
him
a
to
little
a new
bitter.
generation.
Is there like some background with you and Glitter Stick? Okay, we can move on.
Yeah, it was. He was one of the early internet trolls. I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one of the early internet trolls.
All right.
Yeah, I'll say that.
All right.
We might need to hug him after this.
All right. When we come back, we got your rumor report. What we talking
He
about?
probably got a new name now, Wonder Butt.
Wonder
Wonder,
Butt.
but it's crazy. What? When we come back, we're talking about Ebony K. Williams.
Okay.
Ebony K. Williams says that women should be getting wedding rings right alongside their degrees.
Same time?
Basically.
Let's
be
go,
very
Ebony.
ambitious.
Let's go. Stir the pot, Ebony.
All right.
Team Ebony.
We'll discuss when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.